Have you ever bought a product just because of the brand? Well, Richard Branson, the flamboyant British billionaire with a penchant for daredevil stunts, has built an empire by harnessing the power of the original, audacious brand. The startup world is infamous for failures, dreams of disruption, cute logos, and a disproportionate population of odd characters. Virgin ticks all the boxes. And yeah, while Virgin is more of an Eastern Hemisphere thing, I think it's about time American startups took a closer look at their playbook. This is the story of a company so skilled at their brand, they've been able to make $18 billion companies across 12 different sectors, all while mitigating risk in one very cheeky way. This is Virgin's real business of brand. When the Virgin brand was born in the 1970s and shaped through the 80s, corporate culture was strictly safe, controlled, and tame across the board. Virgin's anti-conformity to this culture broke the rules and ended up rewriting those rules into what is now the modern standard, a company that sounds more like a human. We're about to boil Virgin down to 5 main ingredients. You don't get to hear that very often. Starting at the beginning with the name itself. Virgin started as a jab at Branson and his partners' complete lack of business acumen while trying to start a record shop. They were, as they put it, virgins in business, and they spun it as a point of pride. This willingness to dive headfirst into a venture without a clue about the typical practices is the first ingredient of the Virgin brand. Branson's screw it, let's do it philosophy, being fresh-eyed and unafraid. They found their second ingredient when struggling to get their company name trademarked because the government saw it as risque. They've really leaned into this rebellious reputation. It's their attention-stealing shock value. What has come of maturing their counterculture, Sex Pistols-fueled origins. Virgin's third ingredient was found when Branson made his first big leap in business. His neighborhood record shop, Virgin Records, was blooming into a full record label when he decided, I'm also going to start an airline. Virgin Atlantic was born after getting a flight canceled and deciding to solve the problem himself. That's the third ingredient, building a business where he sees real friction for the user. That ushered a tidal wave of spread across many sectors. Between the 80s and the 2000s, Branson was launching, merging, selling, acquiring, or licensing a minimum of one business every year, but it was often way more than that. When you look at their timeline, it starts to feel like Branson was just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping most of it would stick. And while Virgin Atlantic did eventually take off, there were numerous crash landings. Remember Virgin Cola? What, no? Oh, well, that's because it spectacularly failed to gain ground despite Branson's publicity stunt of driving a tank through Times Square. Or how about Virgin Brides? Well, it turns out seeing Branson in a wedding dress wasn't enough to save that venture. And let's not even start on Virgin Vodka, Virgin Vibe, Virgin Cars. The list of Virgin's failures is long. Then again, so is Google's. This Google Jamboard, for example, is just a gigantic brick eyesore. So thank you, Google. We have like 5 of them. Unbelievable. During one period of rapid growth, apparently they internally started calling Branson Dr. Yes. He admits that if he didn't own Virgin, he would have been sacked. That's when Virgin took close stock of what had worked and what had failed, and they learned ingredient number 4. Their greatest strength was crafting distinct experiences, understanding what the customer wants to a perfect T. This is why now the public and investors describe Virgin as an underdog who is fighting for them. Constant innovation, constantly rethinking even their own processes is expected. Example, Virgin invented the concept of screens on the backs of airplane seats, and now their screens are small compared to like all the competition. So they're probably at the drawing board thinking of what they could do to change the playing field again. But now this is a company spread across a dozen or more very different industries. How do you play the rebel and win your way through multiple competitive sectors? How do you fail and not drown? Well, that's ingredient 5. The secret sauce, calculated risk. During that expansion era of Virgin, one of Richard's managers told him about this Japanese method of organizing a company called kuretsu. This model is basically plural interconnected companies that work together under one shared brand umbrella that might be as mutual shareholders, having equity stake in one another. Kuretsu means literally headless combine. This was their answer. Virgin's model could be many separate businesses working together to fuel one another, the glue being a distinctive Virgin DNA, the brand. Virgin didn't always need to own these companies outright either. Instead, they'd lend their brand to industry professionals and contribute their own expertise in creating fantastic customer experiences and their marketing know-how. They would actually basically license Virgin out. Virgin could now dip its toes into new markets rapidly without diving headfirst financially. Virgin's brand has become a sort of seal of approval. When customers see that Virgin logo, they expect a certain experience, and many businesses would pay to have the same privilege. The beauty of this system is that it allowed Virgin to grow much faster than if they'd had to build every business from the ground up themselves. All the while, they're sharing knowledge across this network, learning from every success and every failure. And even if one venture didn't work out, it wouldn't bring the whole Virgin empire crashing down. Of course, this strategy isn't without its risks. Every failed Virgin venture or subpar Virgin-branded service or experience, it dilutes the brand's value in the eyes of the customer and in the eyes of future partners too. But so far, Branson's charisma and the brand's underdog image have managed to weather these storms. So, the million-dollar question. What is the Virgin brand? It's that. In the end, Virgin's success isn't about being the best. It's about being a brand that promises to try something different, even if it doesn't always work out. It's that promise that many people, it turns out, are very willing to buy into. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, you can hit subscribe, you can get notified, you can comment on the community board, you can do all sorts of engagements. While we were on our hiatus, we ended up getting a YouTube plaque. So thanks you guys for watching and listening and following along.